Hello, dear viewers. Today I will tell you the story called The Forgotten Town, Evelyn's Secret. Enjoy watching.
Chapter 1, Silent Town. Raindrops fell heavily and heavily on the deserted town's outbursts. Despite the sharp pain in his head, Thomas continued forward. His thin coat squeaked, and the sound of mud following the explosion of his shoes pierced the silence. I looked around. The shop signs were rusted, dusty, and tattered, as if no one had lived here for years. But what was strange was his. It contained information specific to him. "I've been here before," he muttered. He shook his head. His memory seemed to be clouded by a dark veil. He couldn't quite remember what was here or even who he was. There was only an old photograph he'd retrieved from his pocket. In the photo, a woman was smiling. In the background was this town square. On the back, in shaky handwriting, "If you're reading this, it's too late." Just then, a reflection appeared in a shop window. He spun around. No one was there. But one thing is certain: someone was watching him. Chapter 2, Whispers. Thomas quickly headed for the alley. His heart was pounding like a drum in his chest. The sound of the rain gave way to a soft hum. It was as if someone, not the wind, were whispering in his ear. "Remember me." He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. "My head, it's just my head," he told himself. But the pressure inside him was constricting the depths of his mind. At the end of the alley, he saw a faint light. An old library. The door was half open. The smell of rotting wood filled his nose as he stepped inside. The shelves were cluttered. Books lay on the floor, their pages yellowed. A small notebook on a table caught his eye. The cover was black leather, and on it, written in faded letters, was a sentence: "The truth will destroy you when you remember." Thomas picked up the notebook. The first page bore only a single date: August 24th, 1997. His fingertips trembling, he turned the pages. On every page were short notes, incomprehensible drawings, and a name repeated: Evelyn. He closed the notebook. His throat went dry. The woman in the photograph, her name was Evelyn. At that moment, the dim lights of the library faded one by one. Footsteps behind him approached, slowly but surely. "Thomas," said a deep, cold voice. At that moment, he felt cold, for the voice was his own. Chapter 3, The Man in the Mirror. Thomas turned slowly. In the dark corridor of the library, illuminated by the dim moonlight, he saw a shadow. The shadow was approaching him with slow steps. The sound of its footsteps echoed on the stone floor. "Who's there?" Thomas shouted, but his voice was muffled and shaky. No answer came, just a whisper. "Remember, Thomas, you never left here." He took a step back, gripping the notebook in his hand tighter. He saw something shining between the shelves. As he approached, he realized it was an old mirror. He saw his own reflection in its cracked surface. But something was wrong. His reflection was smiling. On Thomas's face, not a single muscle moved. The reflection in the mirror began to speak.
Evelyn is waiting for you, but first, you need to remember what you did." He shook his head and closed his eyes. No, I didn't do anything." Thomas's eyes in the mirror suddenly turned pitch black. "Is that so?" he said with a cold laugh. "It was raining that night, just like now." The library window suddenly cracked. A loud thunderclap boomed outside. Thomas covered his ears, but the whispers grew louder. "There's no escape. You'll remember." At that moment, a page fell from the notebook to the floor. Thomas picked it up and looked at it. "It's hidden under the square. You'll find Evelyn there." And a date. August 24, 1997, time 11:59 p.m. Thomas tried to catch his breath. He knew he had to go to the square, but something inside him told him that going there would lead him to the point of no return.
This is the story I will tell today. I will be here tomorrow with a new story. If you liked it, do not forget to subscribe and like my channel.